Live with clickorlando.com and streaming on News 6 Plus. This is News 6 at noon. Getting results.
Now at noon, former President Donald Trump will be in federal court in Miami in just hours. We're live there with the latest developments, and we'll also show local reaction ahead of the court appearance. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bridget Ellison.
And I'm Justin Warmoth. Trump has been summoned to appear in federal court at 3 o'clock, where he's promised to plead not guilty to the 37-count indictment charging him with mishandling classified files. News 6 anchor Eric Von Anken live at the courthouse in downtown Miami now with more. Eric.
Justin, there are a lot of people here this afternoon. In some cases, you could probably hear them, but all of them are peaceful. They are loud, but they are controlled. And the Miami police chief said that that's exactly what he expects would happen. He was planning for up to 50,000 folks here this afternoon. That is nowhere near the crowd right here. But still, there are people with very strong opinions on both sides of this issue. We know folks from Central Florida are on their way here taking a bus. Now, there was an incident about 45 minutes ago. Someone brought a TV out here. So there were cameras all over the place, but someone placed the TV up on a light pole. It was displaying a message. Police decided to take it down immediately. They were all over the place. And they decided that that TV could potentially be some sort of threat. So they cleared everybody out, including us. They moved us all the way across the street. It took about 45 minutes. They went through this, essentially what was a television, just to make sure that there was nothing of concern. But this speaks to the temperature out here. This speaks to the amount of law enforcement we have out here and how seriously they are taking this situation. Since Friday, since this indictment against the former president was unsealed, we know U.S. Marshals are out here. They are protecting the courthouse. Secret Service is with the former president. He is at Doral right now, his resort in Doral on the other side of Miami. It's about a half an hour from here. We know right around 2 o'clock he's going to take a motorcade. He's going to be flanked by police. He will arrive here at the courthouse. We likely will not see him. He's going to be going under an underground entrance to get into the courthouse. It's going to happen very quickly. He's going to be photographed. He's going to be fingerprinted. There is no indication that he will be handcuffed. He's going to be taken right upstairs into the courtroom, and then he is going to have the charges, the 37 counts, read against him. After that, a court date will be set, and after that, this is going to be over. It could all be done in a matter of minutes. That's how federal court moves here, especially in the Southern District. Things happen very quickly. On his way out, he could get in his motorcade and head straight to the airport. We know he's headed back to New Jersey tonight, or he could decide to make a statement out here. We are not expecting that, and the Secret Service does not prefer he do that. We're going to be out here all afternoon with live coverage for you from Miami, but for now, live, Eric Von Anken getting results. News 6.
Thank you, Eric. And as he mentioned, Trump supporters in Orlando are headed to Miami to protest the former president's court appearance today. We had a crew there this morning as people started boarding buses headed to Miami. The transportation plan was coordinated by the Florida Republican Assembly to bring people from the Orlando area to Miami ahead of Trump's court appearance. Local supporters saying being there in person is the best way they can feel they can show their support.
He has our values. He protects, the things that we believe in, and we feel like he's been a victim.
We want to make everyone know that Trump is the man, and we want him to win in 24.
And the indictment, what do you think about the indictment?
I think it's ridiculous.
And we'll continue to bring you live coverage from Miami with Eric Von Anken giving you the latest updates on Trump's day in court starting on News 6 at 4.
Also developing the big-time heat. Here is a live look at Daytona Beach. Beautiful shot here from the Daytona Toyota DeLand Kia camera. Makes me want to get in that water. Meteorologist Troy Bridges joins us now with a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast, and it's only going to get hotter from here, Troy.
Oh, yeah, that water temperature right around 82 degrees. We'll take that compared to those 90-degree air temperatures. We're headed to a high temperature today in the upper 90s in parts of Central Florida. As we scan the skies with the radar, though, for now, we are mostly dry. We are pinpointing one area of rain in East Orange County. That does include areas like Bithlo and Christmas. We'll see a sprinkle or two. But for the most part, we will be dry until until later in the evening hours. In fact, the hour-by-hour forecast looks like this, warming to 95 degrees, but feeling more like 100 to 105 around 5 p.m. Notice the coverage of rain only at 30%. So a lot of folks probably are going to want to go to the beaches. We will see a chance for a few of those showers to build in along the coast with the East Coast sea breeze late in the evening, around 7, 8 o'clock. So between now and 7, mostly dry at the beaches as well. There will be a moderate rip current risk, seas up to about 2 feet for boaters, and that air temperature in the mid-90s for coastal zones. Again, the water temperature right around 82 degrees. Now, coming up, we will pinpoint those rain chances for the rest of the week, but more importantly, we'll talk about the heat and what it will actually feel like in the coming days. Today, hot, but getting even hotter after today. Guys, back to you.
All right, we'll see you soon. Thank you, Troy. Now at noon, the Orange County Sheriff's Office tweeted out that they arrested 4 teenagers accused of robbing and terrorizing food delivery drivers. Here's a look at the 4 suspects, all between the ages of 13 to 19. Investigators say they were arrested for a carjacking and aggravated battery on Sunday. The Sheriff's Office believes they're responsible for 4 different robberies, terrorizing food delivery people from over the weekend. Deputies say the robberies progressively got, quote, more violent. We'll have more details on the arrest coming up on News 6 at 4.
And breaking now at noon, the Brevard County Sheriff's Office now identifying the man who was shot and killed over the weekend in Merritt Island. And deputies say 47-year-old Stephen Rubino was found Saturday morning at a home along Walter Court. He was rushed to the hospital but died from his injuries. Deputies say the shooting happened during a fight between the victim and his wife. At this point, no arrests have been made. Detectives say they are still working to figure out the circumstances leading up to the shooting.
New at noon, the autopsy report for a former Olympic track star found dead last month in an Orange County home confirms she died from childbirth complications. The autopsy says 32-year-old Tori Bowie was 8 months pregnant and possibly had respiratory distress and eclampsia, which is a rare and severe complication characterized by seizures and the onset of a coma. Last month, deputies found Bowie when they were doing a well-being check at a home on Bowman Drive. She competed in the 2016 Olympics in Rio, taking home 3 medals, including a gold for the women's 4x100 relay team. Her last official competition was in June of last year.
Happening now, Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood is giving an update to an ongoing drug investigation. The sheriff held a press conference at 11 this morning. The office began a multi-jurisdictional investigation into fentanyl and cocaine trafficking, along with the Lake County Sheriff's Office. The sheriff said over the course of the investigation, more than 41 arrests have been made for various charges of armed trafficking.
We seized 2,300 grams of fentanyl. Mathematically, that equates to over 1.5 million doses that hit the streets of our community.
The sheriff went on to say the only way to stop the crisis is to know the dangers of fentanyl.
Troopers are investigating not 1 but 2 crashes this morning involving dump trucks. The first crash happened around 4 a.m. Sky 6 was live over this scene. Troopers say a dump truck was traveling southbound on State Road 429 when the driver failed to lower the bed of the truck. As a result, the bed collided with a sign and a pole, which then fell on a car behind the truck. Troopers say both drivers were okay and stayed on the scene. And troopers are also investigating another crash overnight involving a separate dump truck. This one happened on I-75 North at the Southwest 66th Street overpass. FHP says the truck was in the up position and struck the overpass, causing the truck to get stuck. The crash closed all northbound lanes, but they have since reopened.
Nurses at a local hospital pushing for changes in the workplace right now. A rally was held this morning in Seminole County. News 6's Mark Lehman was there and shows us how it's part of a call for more to be done to solve the national nursing shortage.
And the director of media relations for HCA Healthcare in North Florida sent a statement to News 6, which reads in part, quote, "We value all members of our care teams and we provide a safe environment for our patients, caregivers, and visitors. Our staffing is safe and appropriate and in line with that of other community hospitals and applicable regulations."
A scary moment on the water yesterday after a tour boat capsized in an underground cavern in New York.
Just a wild story. Law enforcement says nearly 30 people were on board. We'll have the latest details on the investigation coming up.
You're watching News 6 at noon. Getting results. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by the Florida Lottery, who encourages you to play responsibly.
You joined a couple of months ago. You're already a winner.
I know, right? I think everyone should be an insider. They should join and be a winner like me.
You need to know more than if it's going to rain every day. You need to know if the roads are safe. Will you be able to pick up the kids? Can you make it to work or even finish your shift? When weather impacts us like that, we call it inconvenient weather. It inconveniences our everyday lives, our safety, our routines. That is why we're dedicated to accurately pinpointing inconvenient weather so you know how it will impact you and your family, right down to the minute, helping you navigate your day. That's how we get results for you.
Live with Bridget Ellison, Justin Warmoth, and meteorologist Troy Bridges. This is News 6 at noon, getting results.
One person is dead, nearly a dozen others are hurt after a tour boat capsized yesterday in an underground cavern in New York.
Now at noon, CBS's Naomi Ruckham takes us through the heroic rescue and has the latest on the investigation. Here's a live look at our Lodge Credit Union Port Cam at Port Canaveral. A beautiful afternoon out there at the Cape.
If you can deal with the heat. Meteorologist Troy Bridges joins us now. I mean, we are Floridians, Troy, so this comes with it, but it is certainly hot.
People like it hot, we know that, but if you do work in the heat or you have to be outside for long, it is a dangerous setup. We're talking about temperatures feeling close to 100 to 105 for the next several days, so we can't stress it enough. Drink lots of water, take those breaks if you're working out in the heat. Now here's the radar. As we scan the skies from coast to coast, we are dry for the most part. There is one little sprinkle in East Orange County near Christmas and Bithlo, but the big story later today will be that chance for a few showers along the East Coast sea breeze as that wind comes in out of the east, and then we have a southwest breeze that's going to also push in, and as that happens, we're going to see a little bit of a clash of those air masses and a chance for a couple of showers near Titusville on down to Rockledge, but that's going to be late in the day. So late this evening, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, we could see a couple of those showers, but nothing major. For the most part, we're not going to see a lot of rain across Central Florida for today. So here are the weather headlines. Warm and muggy conditions out the door right now. Many areas approaching 90, but feeling much hotter through the afternoon. Again, feeling like 100 to 105. And then through the weekend, that heat continues with only a few showers possible. Of course, it is Father's Day weekend coming up. And if you're making some plans with Dad, go right ahead. But be aware we will have a few additional showers and still plenty of heat to deal with. There's a live view of downtown Orlando right now. The actual temperature is 89 degrees in Orlando with that southwest wind at 11 miles per hour. So again, that southwest wind working in more heat and more humid air, and that's why it feels even warmer. It feels like 97 degrees right now from that view. So certainly a dangerous setup if you're outside for long with all that humid air in place. Here are the actual temperatures out the door. It's 88 right now at the noon hour in Sanford. It's 87 in Ocala, 87 in Leesburg, 90 in Melbourne, 93 degrees right now in Cocoa Beach, and 90 in Daytona Beach. But here's a look at the pinpoint accurate forecast.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency? You ought to call Strata.
So today we warmed to a high of 95, again feeling hotter, and look at the coverage of rain only at 30%, and most of that rain again will develop along the coast. So we're not going to see a lot of rain along I-4. There's the clock at the top of the screen. We take it through 5 p.m. mostly dry. By 7 o'clock though, again that westerly breeze interacting with the east breeze, firing up 1 or 2 showers south of New Smyrna Beach on top of Cape Canaveral, and then we could see some lingering showers in that same region through about 11 o'clock tonight when you're watching Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells. The big story over the next few days, that feels like temperature close to 100 degrees for most all of Central Florida. Now a look at your 7-day forecast, and you'll see those rain chances a little higher as we head into your Thursday at 40%, Father's Day at 40% coverage of rain. But look at those highs in the mid-90s. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Troy. Coming up, fruit officials say you don't want this in your freezer.
First, though, a growing risk of getting sick from mosquitoes. The warning one local county is putting out as summer approaches.
And here's what's coming up, all new at 6.
I'm News 6 investigator Mike DeForest. Back in 2006, 2-year-old Trenton Duckett vanished from an apartment in Leesburg. His mom, Melinda Duckett, told police her son had been kidnapped from his bedroom. As detectives were investigating the toddler's disappearance, the mother committed suicide. Nearly 2 decades later, Trenton is still missing. Now, digging through some of my old case files, reviewing hours of video footage stored on beta tapes, and talking with Trenton's family, we're taking a new look at the missing child investigation.
Until they can show me something else, There's nothing else to go on other than he's out there somewhere.
Where's Trenton? We investigate tonight starting at 6.
At News 6 Mornings, we're going to bring you the big stuff right out front, breaking news.
The stories that will change your day and impact you and your family's safety.
What's happening in your neighborhood, the major stories, things you should look out for, the recalls, the scams.
It's what you need to start your day.
Because breaking news is important, so you got to watch before you go.
Up to the minute breaking news on News 6 Mornings, weekdays at 6 a.m.
Health officials say they're seeing an increased risk of mosquito-borne illnesses in humans, and now Orange County is warning the public to stay safe. The Florida Department of Health says the reason for the warning comes from several chickens testing positive for Eastern equine encephalitis, or EEE. County officials say mosquito control is monitoring the activity, especially as heat and humidity increase. There are several ways to protect yourself, including using insect repellent when going outside and draining all garbage cans and other containers.
And now to a recall alert at noon. Officials are warning, check your freezers for a brand of frozen strawberries being recalled due to potential hepatitis A contamination. Wawana Frozen Foods is recalling an organic Daybreak blend that's a year old. The company says no illnesses have been reported. Anyone with the recalled product is urged to throw it out or return it. Coming up, we'll have one last look at your afternoon forecast.
You're watching News 6 at noon, getting results for Lake Buena Vista, Sanford, and all of Central Florida.
Check out Florida's Fourth Estate with Matt Austin and Ginger Gadsden, Mondays and Fridays at 5:30.
All right, Troy, back with us. We got some heat. Do we have any rain in store?
A little bit,
okay.
Not a whole bunch, but we will see increased rain at a 40% coverage by Thursday. Look at those temperatures, though, getting up to 95 today, 96 degrees tomorrow, with feels like temperatures up to 100 to 105.
That feels like, wow. Well, join us for our next newscast at 4. We break news on clickorlando.com, and a big shout out to our in-studio guest today, New Journey Youth Center. Hi, guys.